Hey guys, it is me Stace. For today's video, I guess you can say it's like a Pinterest inspired project. I seen this really fun card sketch on Pinterest and I want to make a card from it. So here is the sketch, here is the card. Super simple to make. Alright, so the first thing you need is a piece of cardstock for the base of the card. I chose Garden Green. This is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Our two white pieces for the inside and outside. This measures 4 by 5 1/4. Now we have the layers for the front of the card. I have a piece of crushed curry. This is 2.5 by 5. Piece of crumb cake, 2.5 by 3. A piece of white, that is 2 by 3. The same color green, this is 1 inch wider than I need it. And I have a piece of white, this is 3/4 of an inch wide by longer than I need it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is do our stamping. I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap cardstock. I'm using one of May's stamps, it's called Sunflower Wishes. I already have everything on my block. So the first thing I want to do is grab a scrap piece of the same colors I'm working with, the green, the brown, and the white. I have the sunflower on my block, and I'm going to grab my VersaFine ink, or any kind of black ink you want. We're going to ink this up, stamp this down. We're going to fussy cut that out so we can set that part aside. I'm going to take my scrap piece of green, grab the leaf, and I'm going to grab the green ink. And we're going to stamp 2 leaves. So we have 1 there and 1 here. Set that part aside. Let's grab our scrap little brown piece. That one we're going to be using the center of the flower in that same brown ink. Okay, so I have that. So I think everything is done for right now. Let me go ahead and set these aside. And I'll share with you what I'm going to do with the flower. Now you could of course stamp the flower on like the crushed curry cardstock, but I didn't like that look, it was just too dark. So I'm going to use the ink pad and just a regular old foam paintbrush and just dip it in my ink and then just sponge it on. I like this look better because of the spongy look. It makes it look more like a flower versus being so dark from the actual color of the cardstock. Okay, we can set that part aside. We're done with that one. And we're done with that ink. Alright, for the inside of that little guy, I'm going to grab that crosshair, stamp that in the black ink, and just put that right on there. Alright, now, on the other piece of brown, we're going to use that same crosshair and just stamp all over this brown piece, making our own pattern paper. You can, of course, do the brown on here, but I like the look of the black. It just brings in the black a little bit more. Okay, set that aside. Now we're going to go back to that piece of white. This is again 2 by 3. I'm going to grab the inside of this piece here and the brown ink. Let me find where I put that. Right here. And we're going to stamp this guy all over as well. Okay, just like that. Alright, so we are done with our stamping. Let's go ahead and close all these guys up. Alright, now we're going to do a little bit of fussy cutting. I'm going to grab my scissors and just go ahead and cut out the sunflower. Does not need to be perfect. If you have a stamp that has a flower and a punch that punches the flower out, you can of course use that. I'm just using what I have. This is a fun stamp set. I mean, I'm no longer on May's design team. I did retire from that not too long ago, so she has a new design team, which is phenomenal. But I still do enjoy her product. See, I'm just going to be rough with it, not being too perfect. I'm not staying on the black line. If I do, I am. Or if I am, I guess I should say. What I like about fussy cutting them out is that each flower is different. So each card that I create with this, each flower is going to be different, so they're not all the same. Okay, that was done. We're also going to cut out the center part of that flower, and this is just like a little bit of wiggly. And I believe this fits the 3/4 inch punch. But again, I like the wiggly effect of it. And then lastly, we're going to do the same thing for our leaves. Just cut them out. Okay, we have our last one right here. Okay, so it didn't take long at all, right? So gonna set that aside, and let's start assembling our card. All right, so again, we have our card base. I'm gonna grab one of the whites, and again, this piece is 4 by 5 1/4. I'm using art glitter glue. I mentioned before, it is my favorite glue. Plus my ATG gun needs tape, and I don't know how to load it, so I have to wait for hubby to get home to do that for me. All right, so we have that on there. Let's take our center strip. In my case was the crushed curry, and again, this was 2.5 by 5. And I will have all the measurements in the description box below and also on my blog. So that's gonna go in the middle, just like that. All right, now I do want to round the corners because on that sketch, if you've seen, the corners were rounded as well. I'm using my We Are Memory Keepers corner chopper on the 1/4 inch side. Do the same for the white. If you have pattern paper, you can certainly use that. I'm not big on pattern paper. I just kind of like making my own. So I use what I have. All right, we're gonna put this guy in the upper left-hand corner. Now you wanna go a little bit higher up. And then the white one will go next to that one. Okay. Now what I meant to do was put this green piece on off the card, but I did not do that, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this down to be 4 inches. And hopefully it'll fit. Usually when I cut something exact, it doesn't fit. Yeah, I'm a tad bit short, but we'll go with it. Nope. Okay. So we're going to lay that down and cover up the raw edge, or I guess the bottom part of that. Make sure it's somewhat straight. Okay, so we have that piece. Now we have our greeting. I'm going to do that first because odds are I'm going to mess it up. So I have the greeting that says "Thinking of You." I'm going to just use black ink. I'm going to stamp this on there, stamp it down, hopefully I can be straight. Okay, not horribly bad for my first time. Actually, it's pretty good. A little bit high, but not too bad. We're going to flag the corners. Again, if you have a punch, you can do that, but I'm using scissors. All right. Now we're going to lay this down. I'm going to cut this a little bit, just to fit on the green. And it's going to go a little bit below the green. Okay, just like that. Now we have our flower that's going to go there. Let's grab our flower. I'm going to take my bone folder first and just kind of raise up the edges a little bit. Do the same for the leaves. All right, I'm going to grab a little foam square or 2 for the back of the center. Okay, give them a squish, take the backing off. It's a really simple card, right? I love simple cards. This is just a great card to let a friend know you're thinking about them. All right, gotta put some glue on the back of this guy. Put that on the back of our flower. I want to position this so the flower is going the right way. Or my leaves are going the right way, I should say. All right, so I'm just going to kind of eyeball it here. Okay, I think make this a little shorter. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm also going to pop this up. On the back of this one, we're going to use 4. Again, get all the squish, take the backing off, and stick it on. And it covers up that yucky cut that we did right there. There. So there's the front. Super simple, right? All right, now let's grab the inside. Again, this piece is 4 by 5 1/4. We're going to grab that green ink and our leaf. And I'm just going to stamp this. There's a smudge there. I'll flip it over and stamp it in the lower right-hand corner. And it's beautiful. And then plop this guy in there. Okay. Make sure that's kind of straight there. There we go. Okay, so what do you think? There's that card and that card based on that sketch. All right, guys, any questions at all, please let me know. As always, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.